A crankshaft position sensor, or CKP sensor, is an electromagnetic or Hall effect device mounted near the crankshaft in an internal combustion engine. It monitors the crankshaft's rotational speed and position, sending this crucial data to the engine control unit, or ECU. The ECU uses this data to synchronize ignition, fuel delivery, and timing. This synchronization is vital for efficient engine operation. A failing crankshaft position sensor shows several telltale symptoms. Here are the top 10 most common ones. Symptom 1. One engine won't start. No signal to ECU prevents cranking. Symptom 2. Check engine light CL on. Triggers codes like P335 for crankshaft position sensor circuit malfunction. Symptom 3. Engine misfires. Incorrect timing causes cylinders to misfire. Symptom 4. Stalling. Sudden engine shutdown during operation. Symptom 5. Rough idling. Unstable RPMs at idle due to poor ECU data. Symptom 6. Poor acceleration. Hesitation or lack of power during throttle input. Symptom 7. Reduced fuel efficiency. Inefficient combustion from timing errors. Symptom 8. Hard starting. Difficulty starting, especially in cold weather. Symptom 9. Intermittent issues. Sporadic problems like stalling at speed, often due to loose wiring. Symptom 10. No spark or ignition problems. Affects coil firing in distributor-less systems. Symptom 1. Engine won't start. If the CKP sensor fails, the ECU receives no signal indicating the crankshaft's position. Without this signal, the ECU won't allow the engine to crank or start, as it cannot properly time ignition and fuel injection. This is often the first and most obvious sign of a complete CKP failure. A failing CKP sensor will almost always trigger the check engine light. The ECU detects the fault and illuminates the CEL on the dashboard. Diagnostic tools reveal codes like P0335, indicating a crankshaft position sensor circuit malfunction. Incorrect timing data from a failing CKP sensor leads to engine misfires. Cylinders fire at the wrong moment, causing rough running, power loss, and potential damage to the engine. Symptom 4 is stalling. When the crankshaft position sensor fails, the ECU loses track of the crankshaft's position. This causes the engine to suddenly shut down, leading to stalling. Symptom 5 is rough idling. The faulty crankshaft position sensor provides inaccurate timing data to the ECU, resulting in unstable engine RPMs. This causes the engine to run roughly when idling. Symptom 6 is poor acceleration. When you apply the throttle, the engine hesitates or lacks power because the faulty crankshaft position sensor disrupts the timing signals needed for proper acceleration. Reduced fuel efficiency results from inefficient combustion caused by timing errors. Hard starting, particularly in cold weather, signals synchronization issues with ignition. Intermittent problems, such as stalling at speed, frequently stem from loose wiring. Lastly, no spark or ignition failures impact coil firing in distributor-less systems. Symptom 7 is reduced fuel efficiency, caused by inefficient combustion from timing errors that waste fuel. Symptom 8 involves hard starting, indicating problems synchronizing ignition, especially in cold weather. Symptom 9 covers intermittent issues, like stalling at speed, frequently from loose wiring. Symptom 10 is ignition problems, where no spark directly impacts coil firing in distributor-less systems. Begin diagnosing a faulty crankshaft position sensor by performing an OBD2 scan to check for error codes such as P0335, which indicates a crankshaft position sensor circuit malfunction. Next, use a digital multimeter to measure the sensor's resistance, which should typically be between 500 and 2,000 ohms for magnetic sensors, and check the voltage output for proper signals. Use an oscilloscope to examine the waveform patterns produced by the crankshaft position sensor, confirming the signal quality and timing. Finally, visually inspect the crankshaft position sensor and its wiring for signs of oil contamination, debris buildup, or damage to the connectors and harness. Repairing a faulty crankshaft position sensor typically involves replacement as the primary fix. The sensor itself costs between $20 and $100 and is designed as a plug-and-play component. Before installing a new sensor, check the connectors. If there's only minor corrosion, clean them thoroughly. However, if the wiring harness is damaged, it must be replaced to ensure proper connection. After replacing the sensor, ensure all connections are secure. In some vehicles, you may need to reprogram the engine control unit to recognize the new sensor and calibrate timing. For tips, DIY replacement is feasible if you have basic tools and follow safety precautions. However, professional diagnosis is strongly recommended to ensure accuracy and prevent misdiagnosis that could lead to more expensive repairs. Total repair costs typically range from $150 to $400.